So, okay, why limits? There's been this whole big attack on quote unquote metaphysics. So, I don't know. I mean, do you feel like metaphysics matters? Or do you feel like metaphysics still exists in the current world? Or like, what even is that? Because nobody really knows or cares.
What do you mean by metaphysics?
So, it could be a somewhat broad field in philosophy, but it would have something to do with what is the reality that we could say is present before us, and what are the different levels or tiers or possibilities of that reality that we can discuss that either like refer to physical things, or maybe they don't refer to physical things, but they're like concepts. How do different types of concepts like fit into our mental map of the world if they're not simply like a physical object that we can see, but something more abstract or something different? Whether we could say that that concept really exists or not, or like what does it mean for that concept to exist? I mean, we can even say, okay, metaphysics is maybe the question of, do concepts exist? Because for a physicalist, and for like the atheists and Sam Harris and people like that, in a way, concepts don't really exist, and like the mental realm doesn't really exist. There's just the physical laws, and there's these like illusions that our brain is spitting out, but they don't necessarily like correspond to the reality, and there's no way to describe that they really exist or are real. Therefore, they're excluded from like the realm of science, they're excluded from understanding, and we can't talk about it essentially.
I think that's an important topic in the modern day.
It could be a bit more generic than that. Like I would say even just higher level concrete abstractions. Like an example I was using earlier is like if you are using like an app on your phone, what is an app, right? Like what could we say is an app even? Because it's kind of a generalized idea that combines a whole lot of other possibilities of like organization and connection of other things. It depends on a very complex physical system to kind of actualize it, right? So, I mean, if I ask you to like take your phone and point at an app, like could you point at an app?
I would just point at my home screen. Like the whole
You're just pointing at your home
phone
screen,
is an
but I
app.
could say that like, well, you're actually just pointing at like the physical electrons of the circuits and the logic gates in that computer. So
True.
like where is that app? Right? And then like our ability to talk about what that is and the existence of it is sort of what metaphysics tries to get at. To me, it seems like an obvious thing that's important, but our society has basically kind of said that like, okay, well, we don't really care about metaphysics. And this is related to the mind-body dualism in a way, because as a society, I think we've ended up very biological reductionist and determinist.